Hi there, greetings, Temple Beth Shalom. This is Rabbi Box back with your Parashat HaShavua, your Torah portion for the week. We're still in the book of Deuteronomy, Parashat Eikev, Deuteronomy 7, verse 12 through 11, verse 25. And let's go ahead and go through the outline. First section of the outline, faithfulness to the covenant by God and Israel, blessings and possession of the land. Call to observe and remember and observe. 2, principles of reverence. What does God demand of you? Possession of the land by a stiff-necked people. Retrospective of wilderness sins. Reaffirmation that Israel is God's people. And a call for reverence, obedience, love, and worship. In section 3, occupation of the land as divine reward or punishment. Past lessons as motivations for future actions, special qualities of the land and incentives to obey God, and victory and territory as rewards for obedience. So let's begin. The first section talks about what happens if we obey the rules and observe them carefully, and God's continued agreement to maintain the covenant with us should we keep these rules. But if we choose not to, that is when the problem becomes. If we keep them, God favors us and blesses us and multiplies us, blessing all of our future generations, animals as well as the soil. We will be blessed above all peoples. We will take over the land that God gives to us, and we will be responsible for showing no pity to the people that we take over their land. We shall not worship their gods. God will help us by by dislodging these people from their land little by little to help us take over the land. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on verse 8, chapter 8. You shall faithfully observe all the instructions that I enjoin upon you today, that you may thrive and increase and be able to possess the land that Adonai promised on oath to your fathers. Remember the long way that your God Adonai has made you travel in the wilderness these past 40 years, in order to test you by hardships to learn what was in your hearts, whether you would keep the divine commandments or not. God subjected you to the hardship of hunger and then gave you manna to eat, which neither you nor your ancestors had ever known, in order to teach you that a human being does not live on bread alone, but that one may live on anything that God decrees. The clothes that we wore did not wear out, nor did our feet swell. God is bringing us into a good land, a land with streams and springs and fountains, a land of wheat and barley, of vines, figs, and pomegranates, a land of olive trees and honey, a land where we may eat food without stint, where we will lack nothing, a land whose rocks are iron and from whose hills you can mine copper. When you have eaten your fill, give thanks to your God, Adonai, for the good land given to you. All of this stuff is as we're getting ready to enter the land and take possession of the land. And God is saying, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and you're going to have this, and you're going to have that. And all you have to do is follow the commandments. But Moses likes to remind us of our bickering on the way from Egypt. Reminds us of all the times in which we tried God's patience and how Moses had to go back to God and beg for our forgiveness, how God gave us the 10 Commandments, and all of the stuff that happened with the golden calf and Moses getting angry, and then God coming back and agreeing with Moses to not destroy all of us, to keep us going, to save us. God saved us on behalf of Moses. So the Torah portion this week ends with the following. chapter 11, verse 22. If then you faithfully keep all this instruction that I command you, loving your God Adonai, walking in all God's ways, and holding fast to God, Adonai will dislodge before you all these nations. You will dispossess nations greater and more numerous than you. Every spot on which your foot treads shall be yours. Your territory shall extend from the wilderness to the Lebanon, and from the river, the Euphrates, to the western sea. No one shall stand up to you. Your God Adonai will put the dread and fear of you over the whole land in which you set foot, as promised. And that is the end of this week's Torah portion. Shabbat Shalom.